Welcome back to Unapologetically Pookie. Hopefully everyone is doing good today and they had a great week and a good Labor Day weekend. We literally just cleaned the yard. We have been slacking on yard work, and so we had to do yard work. We had to get it done. We had to get it done. So I and Mr. Pookie and everybody, we were busy cleaning up the house, doing all the things that you really don't want to do. That's kind of what we did this last weekend. So hopefully everybody's week is going good. This week, actually, everybody is starting school, so it's been busy and crazy. You guys know that I put my kids in kind of online school, so they have been starting this week, and everything actually is going quite well. My youngest, she's loving her teachers, and so it's just the first week yet, so we haven't survived the whole week, and it is a short week, so I'll keep you guys updated, but so far it's been really good, and she's really loving her class and her school, and so hopefully it will continue. But I kind of wanted to do a fun video today. I wanted to tell you 3 kind of really embarrassing stories about being a mom. So I tell you what, kids are very honest. My oldest daughter works with children, and let me tell you, there is no filter. If you have grandkids, kids yourself, you'll know that they will just tell you how it is. It doesn't matter. They will just tell you, which honestly I kind of like, because as you get older, you kind of do get a little bit of filter, and maybe when you're having conversation with someone's a little bit more polite, which I think it's great to be polite, like, don't get me wrong, but you kind of, from a little kid to an adult, that, like, just tell it how it is, sometimes we try to be a little nice. It just depends on the person, but it's just so funny how just blunt these kids are. And so Ireland, like I said, she works with kids, and so every day she'll come home and tell me little stories about what this kid said, or you will never believe this, and it got me thinking of some really embarrassing things that happened to me as a mom, and this is all Ireland. She is my talkative girl. She is kind of like me. We will kind of be like a little bit of a social butterfly. We don't care. We'll talk to everybody, and she has always been a talker. When she was little, she was one of those kids that wanted to just hug everybody and just wanted to talk to everybody, which is good, but bad in the same way, because we're like, listen, we don't hug strangers. Like, we need to learn boundaries. And so learning boundaries of not her, like, hugging just random people on the street. But she was a talker, and I have some crazy stories to tell you. So when she was younger, I want to say about just when she started to kind of really talk, and if you've ever had kids, grandkids, or been around kids, when they talk, certain words kind of sound not like the word. You're like, wait, when they talk about a word or they say something, you're like, excuse me, what did you say? Yeah, that was kind of something that happened to me. So she was learning the word milk, okay? Milk. And I have no idea why. And I'm like, girl, it does not even sound like milk. What are you saying? So when she was little, we were in the big store, like I think we were in the mall somewhere, and it was super crowded, and she was in, oh gosh, you guys, the stroller. And she, instead of said milk, she said, I'm gonna say it one time, she said cock. So she screamed this word over and over again, and I'm like, mortified because she's like, I want more of that, okay? I want more. And I'm like, where are you hearing this word? And people are now starting to turn around and like look at me and like I'm getting shamed. And I'm like, I swear to you, I have no idea what she is saying. Like, I get what she's saying. This is like horrible. And I swear to you, we never say any bad words in front of her, especially that word. She's never even heard that word. And she's like, I want more blank. And she's getting mad and madder and just angry. And I'm standing there, her in the stroller, and her screaming that she wants more of this. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm so embarrassed. I just want to put my head like under a pillow, a desk. I just want to, if I could melt away at that moment, I totally would, because people are now starting to look at me and she's screaming and I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, graham cracker, you want a graham cracker, you want this. So now I'm sitting here playing games of like, you want your graham cracker? And she's like, no, I want that word. And I'm like, I know that's not what you want, girl. Oh my gosh. So finally I grab her milk from behind the stroller, and it was like nice and cold and stuff. And I said, you want more milk? And she goes, yes. And then she said the word, but not milk. And I'm like, no, it's milk. And I don't know for what reason, but she kept saying that word. I went home, told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh. And Mr. Pookie was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I was like, no, ask her what it is. And she said the C word. And I was like, so that whole week, man, I was teaching her, no, that is not that word. Finally got her to say milk. But you guys, I wanted to die. I wanted to die. So I know a lot of you guys probably have kind of the same story. Probably not like this. My stories are crazy. I cannot believe that she thought that milk was that word. There is not even anything, not even remotely close to the same word. Like, I can see a lot of, bad words come out of kids, but they're really like fudge or, whatever, shoot, and you say this, or there are similar bad words that sound, like words, and you're like, what did you say? So many kids I've known, like, oh my God, did she just say the F word? And no, she's saying, whatever, forest or whatever it is. But never in my life have I ever heard a story where a kid calls milk the C, that, and it's not even... We're not even close, Miss Ireland. Like, what are you doing? And today we still laugh about it. And it's one of those things. So if you're going through this process of being a mom and a young mom, and your kids are learning how to talk, and I'm telling you what, they will embarrass you. They will embarrass you, and they'll continue to embarrass you. But the great thing, as they get older, you can embarrass them right back, and it's kind of fun sometimes. I think that's why sometimes we're just like, and they're being little, not so good kids, maybe little brats, and you're like, ooh, that's right, I'm gonna embarrass you because, yes, because that one time, not that they mean it, but it's pretty fun sometimes to embarrass your kids. My kids have a great sense of humor. We've raised them with a great sense of humor. So no one gets mad. No one gets upset. I really believe that, like, sense of humor, laughter is everything. And now we laugh about that story. But I tell you, when you're in the middle of it, it is so embarrassing. I don't think I've ever been so embarrassed in my whole entire life. And I feel like judged. I feel like all these parents were just judging me, like, what kind of parent are you? Like, how does she know that word, and why is she saying she wants more of it? You guys, I just could not. So if you have a story, let me know. I feel like we should start having you guys write me, like email me, and maybe like once a month or whatever, we'll do some crazy stories, because if I have this crazy story, I know you guys have a crazy story, and I'm sure it'll make everybody feel better, because when you're in the middle of just being mom to younger kids and like really embarrassing situations come up, you feel like you're the only one. But let me tell you, you are not the only one. Every single mother, grandmother, anybody who is around children has one of those moments. I don't know about this moment, like that word, I'm like, oh my gosh, but pretty close, I'm sure, pretty close. So I just wanted to tell you guys that story because it was one of the more memorable stories of Ireland, and that she's just, oh my gosh, a character. And then another one, it's Ireland. We're talking about Ireland. We're outing Ireland. She'll be on my podcast really soon. She's been working really hard, and this girl is busy. So I was like, girl, you need to get on my podcast. So she has a lot of fun stories and a lot of things to tell you guys as well. So I'll have her on pretty soon. I'm hopefully next week she can come on and give you all the tea, because she's got a lot of tea. But I'm spilling the tea on her today. So when at this time I had 3 kids. So I had my 2 oldest and then my son, and my son was like a baby at this time. So my daughter was like 8, and then my second daughter was like 7, something like that, and my son might have been like 1. And Mr. Pookie works all the time, especially in our younger years. He would work 7 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day. So pretty much I was raising these babies all on my own. Because he would get home, he'd have dinner, try to spend a little bit of time with his family and then he'd have to go right back, he'd have to go to sleep. He'd have to get up early in the morning, and he would do this 7 days a week for like years. And then now he's worked his way up, so it's a lot better now. But back in the day, like it was rough. It was very, very rough raising babies on my own, and I get it. Like single parents, all the things. Like, it is hard, especially when you're outnumbered and you're just your one self. So I remember one day I was taking them out, and you guys know if you have multiple kids, it is so hard to get all the kids in the stroller or in the basket, or just even getting out of the house sometimes can be, I'm so exhausted just even thinking about it. And I really feel like I'm so glad I had my babies early in my life. My first, Ireland was born at 20, when I was 23. So if just thinking about it now, there's no way. They're in my mid 40s. Are you kidding me? I get exhausted just watching these women with 3 or 4 kids out in the store. I'm like, I don't know how you did it. And I don't even know how I did it. We just did it. Like, I guess you just have to. And I had so much more energy, I think, and more patience, definitely, dealing with little ones. I mean, I still have patience, but can you imagine? I mean, I know a few friends that have children later in life, and I guess you just don't know anything different, it's just, it is what it is. But now I'm like, I couldn't do it. I could never do it right now. I like my kids are older and I can, more chill time, just, oh gosh. But back in the day, it was rough toting everybody around. I would have to go grocery shopping by myself, Costco by myself with all the kids. Like, we didn't have babysitters. We didn't have any really family up here in Oregon. So it was just me and the kids. And I remember one time, I think it was in the summertime, and I had the 2 kids and some Ireland and True, like 7 or 8, and I had my youngest son, Guinness, and I had he didn't want to be in the car, and so I'm having him on my hip, And I'm having to take all the groceries and grab them, put them on the little counter, and grab them, put them on the counter. And I was wearing like a tank top. It was summer, so I think I had like a V-shaped top. Well, you know how like babies, little kids, they'll grab like your like chest, or they'll just grab your clothes. Well, as I'm bending and scooping and he's grabbing and I'm bending and scooping, I now am exposed. Okay, she's out, the boobie's out, she's just hanging out. Now, I have no idea that this is even happening because I'm paying attention to the girls, making sure, hey, stay right here, hold on to the basket, don't be running around, and I'm grabbing groceries and putting them on the thing. So I have no idea. I'm in mom mode, trying to get this stuff together so we can get out of there. Nobody have fits. My son's like kind of fidgeting, obviously, because now like he has exposed my whole breast to the cashier. And this cashier was like a younger guy, and I had no clue. I'm just like da 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 la la la, just talking, and he's just like and I'm like, oh gosh. And I look down, I'm like, oh my gosh, my son, of course, bending and scooping, had just exposed everything. And I'm like, I wanted to die. I did. I wanted to just crawl in a hole again and be like, this is so embarrassing. Nobody even told me. Everybody was staring. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I swear, when I see women struggle or something like that happens, I will tell them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I will like run over, help them, because no one said anything, and here I'm like exposed, and I literally wanted to just leave the groceries there and just get in the car and cry. Like, get in the car and cry my eyes out, because I'm like, this is so embarrassing. So if that's happened to you, you are not alone, because I feel like it's so easy for that to happen too. Because kids are very like clingy and they grab stuff, and that motion, man, just bending over and grabbing groceries and so forth and so on, exposed me, and I was so embarrassed. Anybody else have a story like that, or am I the only one? I cannot be the only one that's like your kids accidentally like expose you. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I was so mortified. I was so embarrassed. And I don't even know what one's worse. Maybe that story than, the milk story, because oh gosh, you guys, it was crazy. It was so crazy. But that's kind of more, my son. Can you believe that little booger? I cannot believe it. And then the other story is, so Ireland, I think, was in second grade, and they had to do like a paper. They had to do like, what is your, mom's favorite thing to do? Stuff like that. Now, I love, like, especially if you scroll online and you see people like, what's my mom's favorite thing she likes to do? And it'll say like some crazy stuff, right? You're like, oh my goodness. We have a crack in the wall. We live in a crack house. Like, you hear so many stories like this, and it makes me laugh so much, because little kids are honest, but they only like get half of a story, and so some of the things are crazy. So Miss Ireland, she knows I love to shop. Like, I love to shop. I mean, what girl doesn't? And so she was writing a story, and she goes, my mom is a shopaholic. And then she goes, and she's an alcoholic. And she begins to write the story about how I'm a shopaholic and I'm an alcoholic. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So she begins to keep writing the story. And luckily, I have become really good friends with her teachers, right? So the teachers know me. I actually go, like, it was like every Tuesday or Wednesday and filled folders for the school. I was really, really involved in school when the kids were younger. I always took them to field trips. I was always there on school property. It seemed like a lot. And so I think I was folding or stuffing papers for the kiddos, and the teacher had a break. Everybody was out to recess, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you're never gonna believe this." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Your daughter said that you were a shopaholic and an alcoholic." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, she told us because you love to shop so much that, you're a shopaholic, and that you're an alcoholic because you like to drink wine." And she thought that was the same thing. Because you love shopping, it's a shopaholic. And if you love wine, well, then you're an alcoholic. And she was explaining this to the teacher. You guys, thank goodness I knew the teachers good enough to know, like, okay, this is like, that's not true. But can you imagine if you're not, like, the teachers don't know you and you get that phone call? Like, excuse me, like, how embarrassing that is. So that was one of my embarrassing things that the kids wrote about. I think all the other kids didn't do that, but Ireland, she just, yeah, I'm a shopaholic and an alcoholic. I died. And we still laugh about it to this day because it is so funny. It is so funny. And that's why I love, like, reading other people's, what their kids say about them, because it cracks me up. That's why kids are just so funny. You never know what they're gonna say. It sometimes is scary because a lot of times I know, like, with my daughter being a teacher, they'll have conversations, the mom and dad or whoever will have conversations, and then they'll come to class and they'll be like, "Miss Ireland," and they'll just spill stuff, and she's like, "Oh, okay, let's get on topic." It is crazy. So let me know your stories. If you want to write in, I will leave my email down in the description box below, and maybe I could do some funny stories if that is maybe something you guys might like on here. But I love listening to other people's stories about their kids and the funny things they say, because some of the stuff is shocking and it's funny. And I know at the time, it's definitely not funny at the time. You just feel mortified. But years now, looking back, it's hilarious. It is hilarious. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me, and I just thank you for all the love and support on this new channel. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye.